From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, January 20th, 2015. Silver is trading at $17.85 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,289 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $211. Antiwar.com reports months of the on-again, off-again ceasefire seem to have been ditched in Ukraine yesterday as the nation's army announced a full-scale offensive against the rebels in the east, pushing against both Donetsk and Luhansk. The move was not unexpected as the fighting over the Donetsk airport has picked up in recent days. Now both sides claim to hold the airport, which is all but destroyed at any rate, and dozens have been reported killed across the region. After Western protesters ousted the pro-Russian government in Kiev in early 2014, the new government imposed strict restrictions on the ethnic Russian-dominated East, which fueled a rebellion which has kept much of the easternmost oblast independent to this day. A ceasefire was negotiated in Minsk, which kept the two sides from fighting, but promised reforms from the Ukrainian government to reintegrate the East never came about. Now it seems they're once again trying to reintegrate militarily. You can support FPP Radio by joining the Fans program. Fans are friends, allies, and numerous supporters. Fans help FPP afford to produce more original content. To learn more or to join the Fans program, visit fans.fppradio.com. UPI reports a Taiwanese man who was on a 3-day computer gaming binge died in an internet cafe and went unnoticed for hours, the second such death in the area in less than a month. The man went into the internet cafe on January 6th and was found motionless on a table on January 8th. Investigators said the man had a heart attack. His death went unnoticed for several hours as gamers continued around him. Jennifer Wu, a police spokesperson for the Hunai district, told CNN the CCTV camera footage from the internet cafe showed that he had a small struggle before he collapsed motionless. Family members told police the 32-year-old man was unemployed and would often disappear for several consecutive days. Workers said they did not notice that the man had died because he would often take naps. A cafe attendant told the Taipei Times he was a regular customer here and always played for consecutive days. When tired, he would sleep face down on the table or doze off slumped in his chair. That is why we were not aware of his condition in the beginning. On January 1st, a 38-year-old man was found dead in an internet cafe in New Taipei City after a 5-day gaming binge. For over 35 years, Roberts & Roberts has been a trusted source for buying and selling your investment-grade precious metals. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and permanently removed the minimum purchase order for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on investing and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 850-478-5270 or online at rrbi.co. The Guardian reports analysis of documents released by whistleblower Edward Snowden reveals the British government's bulk surveillance of electronic communications has scooped up emails to and from journalists working for some of the U.S. and U.K.'s largest media organizations. Emails from the BBC, Reuters, The Guardian, New York Times, Le Monde, The Sun, NBC, and The Washington Post were saved by the GCHQ and shared on the agency's intranet as part of a test exercise by the Signals Intelligence Agency. The disclosure comes as the British government faces intense pressure to keep confidential the communication of reporters, members of parliament, and lawyers from snooping. The communications from the journalists were among 70,000 emails harvested in the space of less than 10 minutes on one day in November 2008 by the GCHQ's numerous taps on the fiber optic cables that make up the backbone of the Internet. The communications, which were sometimes simple mass PR emails sent to dozens of journalists, but also included correspondence between reporters and editors discussing stories, were retained by the GCHQ and were available to all cleared staff of the agency's intranet. There is nothing to indicate whether or not journalists were intentionally targeted. New evidence from the UK intelligence documents revealed by Snowden showed that the GCHQ Information Security Assessment listed investigative journalists as a threat in a hierarchy alongside terrorists and hackers. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at FPP Radio.